Here's the question I'm interested to know though, are his albums, his projects, his mixtapes getting more accessible? Are they inviting more new fans in? And so that's why I'm kind of interested. The end is here. Like, this is your first time listening to him. You know, what did you think of the project off rip? Just, I'm assuming you only listened to this and haven't heard anything else or didn't go back on anything else.
Right, yeah. I ran through this twice. I haven't heard anything else he did. The first thing I'll say is coming from a podcast duo who I know is into Boldy James and Currency, this makes a lot of sense. Like a lot.
Yes.
um, so I understand how you guys got stuck on him. And like I would say right off the jump, I'm into it. Like Tangible Assets coming out the gate as the first song. I thought that was one of the best tracks on here. So that grabbed me immediately. He's definitely got a few different like paces. Sometimes it's more like hazy and slow. Sometimes he really kind of gets into his like West Coast bag.
Yeah.
And for the most part though, it's really casual. It's really relaxed. It's very direct, and a lot of like narration. And I'm into it. I could definitely see myself going back through his projects, and he's kind of like a Crime Apple or somebody like that to me, where they drop a lot of quantity. Assuming if I go back and enjoy his projects the same as this, it's almost like he drops a lot of like 7.5 out of 10 albums, but when he drops 10 of them in a 3-year span, it's like he becomes one of your favorite artists. So that's kind of my initial perspective on where I think I'll end up with him. But this is a solid effort.
Yeah, so I think that does kind of answer my question. I feel like with Numbers and this project, I feel like these are two of the projects that have turned the corner a little bit to feeling more like, if I were to show people him, I would start with these two albums. I think they just deliver on different notes, different vibes, more than his previous projects do. And sometimes it's because he works with a single producer for a given project. He's done that a lot of times, so it's very like driving in one sort of atmosphere or direction, and he usually just kind of keeps the pace. Again, knowing that he drops multiple times a year, that he can switch up the way he does things on a project to project basis. But with these other newer last two albums, I feel like he's really tried to serve up different things. Sometimes things he's actually already done in the past, but you know, put it all together in an album. I agree. Tangible Assets was like a awesome way to start things. Then we get into another track I really like, 6 a.m. and Sausalito. And again, this is very like nocturnal and vibey, and but I like that screwed up version of the hook or the title of the song on the end there. Vocals super fire. So Trent, I'll pass it off to you with, you know, first overall reaction to the album.
I think coming off of I thought Organic Respect was pretty cool, and like Still Cooking was cool. I like when him and Dej get together. I think those are always like pretty fun tracks.
The last Dej song
I didn't see that coming.
is better, but I agree. This one's cool too.
Yeah, the last one was better, but I think that those two artists have like, it's kind of weird. They have extremely different styles and sounds, and I'm confused where they like linked up and decided like they were gonna put out music together. But I'm
Multiple
glad they
times.
did, because I feel like their juxtaposition is actually really solid. But and then I always think that Larry June has great intros and outros that like they fit his vibe really well, and like they're never too overstated and they're never like boring to like or like unnecessary to me. I think that they like fit in well with overall. I think this is a good album. I don't think it's probably more trending towards average for me than like a great Larry June project, but it's fine. I think his bar is a lot like somebody like you said, like Prime Apple or somebody like Wiki even, where I think their bar is like pretty solidly at like above average, that like they can put out anything, and I don't think they're really in a trend below average to me. So yeah, he's one of those dudes who like if you have a project that you don't remember, he's gonna put something out in like 6 months that like you probably will like better. So
That's a
Yeah,
really
I
good
mean,
I
point.
mean,
everything-
last year alone, he put out 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 projects. I think one of them was an older project that he re-released, but 6 bodies of work in 2020 that like none of them are like that short. Like they're all at least 25 minutes.
You know what's
So-
weird about this and Numbers though is that they're both exactly 13 songs and 36 minutes, about like still within the 36-minute mark.
That's weird. Westside Gunn was just saying, like, he was giving a list of people he fucks with from the West Coast, and he had Jay Worthy on there, which
Yes.
I totally agree with. But then he had like Larry June, and he was talking about like Dom Kennedy and these guys, like they can fit the mold of like that understated slow boom bap inspired hip hop that like Griselda is kind of like reviving. They can do that, like, and they do it pretty well too.
Yeah, differently, but
yeah,
really
most
the
of
same.
his stuff. I think Larry June's versatile. He's a one of those guys that's just been in the game forever, and I feel like everyone respects him. He can really do whatever, and it'll probably hit pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I like
based on my
those.
experience
Oh, sorry.
listening to him and the way you guys are talking about him is definitely like reinforcing the idea of what I kind of thought he was, and
Yeah,
I think I have a really solid feel about who he is, what type of music he puts out, etc. So
Yeah, eventually what you see is what you get, and he kind of, like I said, just delivers on something really consistent, which I think is why people really enjoy the entirety of the product, the body of work, and whatnot. One of the few moments I was kind of really low on was the Trey the Truth feature on here. I thought I was definitely intrigued by it, but it didn't really. It just ended up being one of the songs I'm probably gonna skip. But other than that, I really liked this. I agree. Dej Loaf, nice. The Trappier song with Money Man, it's nice. Like that. And then good closers with Iced Coffee and 7 Mile Bike Ride. Good openers with the Uncle Herm shit, as well as Tangible Assets, and good moments in the middle. I agree. May not be his best project. May not be the project I would send to the first time Larry June listener. Maybe Numbers, maybe Out the Trunk, maybe one of those. But yeah, overall, a good body of work that sits on top of many other pretty good bodies of work for Larry June. Numbers.
numbers.
Yeah.